Hey ladies, today I'm going to show you how I wash my natural hair while it is braided under my sew-in. These are some of the things that you will need. A couple of towels, 2 spray bottles, some clarifying shampoo, I'm using Tresemme, a light conditioner, I'm using VO5 Moisture Milks, a small scarf, a paddle brush, a soft bristle brush, gel and or edge control, and last but not least, a hooded dryer. Now it's important that you have a hooded dryer because you have to ensure that your braids are thoroughly dry once you've washed your hair. Okay, so let's get started. Pour some of that Sea Breeze into one of your spray bottles and then start to apply that to your scalp. Now I like to begin with my edges because that's the area that I put the most gel and edge control on it on a daily basis because I try to make sure my edges are laid down. So it's important that I try to break up some of that residue and some of that dirt, and I just spray all over and start rubbing it in with my fingers. Now for some of you that do not care for any product that has alcohol in it, then Sea Breeze may not be for you, but for me it's extremely important that I get any of the dirt and any bacteria or anything out of my scalp when I wear sew-ins. And I work out about 5 times a week. I run a lot and my head sweats a whole lot, so it's really important that my braids don't stink and that I try to get it as clean as possible. So I just like to spray that in there. I may not do it every time I shampoo, but I do try to do it at least every couple of weeks to make sure that I get it thoroughly clean. So continue to apply that throughout your hair. Once you finish with your edges, just spray it as much as you can on your scalp and try to break it up with your fingers. Just massage it in there as much as you can until you feel that tingling sensation. Okay, now just get up under the shower and rinse all of that Sea Breeze out. You're not using shampoo at this point. You're just going to try to use some warm to hot water and let the water run through your hair down into your braids and let it just rinse all of that Sea Breeze and loosen up some of that dirt and get it out of your hair as much as possible. I like to work my fingers through my hair just to try to speed up the process a little bit until I feel like that my braids are thoroughly saturated with the water. Okay, now pour some warm to hot water into your second spray bottle, and once you have it almost to the top, then pour in some of that clarifying shampoo. Put the cap on and shake it up. Then go ahead and start spraying your hair with that shampoo mixture. Now once again, I like to start with my edges and I just start to spray it in there and loosen it up with my fingers, just working it in there the same way I did with the Sea Breeze, and I do that all over my head. Make sure that you get in between your tracks as much as possible. Some people wear their tracks really close. Mine are kind of few and far between in the back, and they get tighter as we go up to the top, so it's easier for me to get in between those. But I'm speeding this up a little bit just so you can get the point of it and see that I'm just spraying it in there all the way throughout my hair. Now once you're done, once again, try to rinse all of that out of your hair. I like to do it a couple of times. I'll rinse and then I'll go ahead and repeat and shampoo again and rinse it all out thoroughly. Okay, once you're done, try to squeeze as much water out of your hair as possible. I just try to press my hands up against my head and just try to squeeze the water out of my braids. Then you take your conditioner and pour some into the palm of your hand, rub them together, and just start to apply that to your hair. Now I start off with just applying it to the weave and then of course my edges, and then I start to try to apply a little bit onto some of my braids. Now be careful with putting the conditioner in between your tracks and into your braids because it's easy for that conditioner to get stuck in there, and you don't want to already start having a lot of buildup of product in between your tracks. But start pouring that in there, rubbing it in, and start making sure that you're rubbing your hair from the top down so that your hair doesn't get tangled up. Now once you're done, I like to put on a plastic cap. I'll just let that marinate for a little while I finish washing the rest of my body, and then when I'm done, I rinse my hair again. I don't really think I need to show you that because you already know how to rinse your hair. Now, once I've rinsed all the conditioner out of my hair, I just try to squeeze all the water out as much as possible, and because the least amount of water that you start off with before you get in the dryer, the best it will be, and easier for your hair to dry. So just try to squeeze as much of that water out as you can, until you feel comfortable, and don't think you can get any more water out. Then I like to wrap my head up with a towel. I'll do this a couple times. I'll wrap my hair with a towel, and then I'll just leave it there for a while, and then once it soaks up a lot of water, I'll put another towel on my head, and let that soak up a lot of water too while I do other things around the house. And then that ensures that I get a lot of water out. Now go ahead and get your powder brush and just start brushing your hair down into the style or the shape that you usually wear it in. And want to speed that up a little bit just so that you can see what I do. And then I pin my hair back, and I'm also going to put a little band around the back. And then I'm going to take some of my gel and start rubbing my edges down all around. No, I don't put a lot of gel on my edges, but just enough. And then I take my soft bristle brush and just brush it back so it'll lay down some. Then I like to use my edge control, and then I do the same thing with the edge control, and that makes it stay a little bit better. Once you finish brushing all of that down, then you're going to take your small scarf, and I just tie that around and pull it back, not too tight so you don't get a headache, and that just ensures that your edges will stay laid down while you're up under the dryer. And then I just brush my hair back down. Now once you get under your dryer, I suggest that you have something to do. I like to take my iPad and look at YouTube videos, and I'll grab a book, and I also will make sure I have something cold to drink because you are going to get extremely hot. I sit under the dryer for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I hate to say it, but that's the only way I can make sure that my braids get dry enough. And you want to make sure your braids are dry because otherwise bacteria will start to form and your hair will stink. Once you are sure that your hair is dry, then you just go ahead and take off your headband. As you can see, my edges are laid down very well, so it's a very good method in getting your edges to lay down. And then once you're done, just style your hair the way that you normally would. Thank you for watching my video, you guys, and talk to you later. Bye.